Hello, guys. Welcome back to Live, Laugh, LaShawn. I am so excited to be doing part two of this installment. So, welcome back to Learning to Forgive, episode two. I thank you for rewatching and taking this journey with me. I love each and every single one of you. Forgiveness does not change the past, but it does enlarge the future. And that is by Paul Booth. I think that's how you say his name. Sorry, dude. So, since the last video, I had a lot of homework to do. I'm talking a lot. And this episode, I want to talk about how I am forgiving and have forgave the bullies. This was hard because there were a lot of bullies, and each one of them have hurt me in levels. You know, some were just like whatever, and then the other ones truly did affect me for a very long time, even into adulthood. It was crazy. It's crazy how people don't realize that your words do impact a person in the way they think and in the way they act. I mean, I grew up if most of you do not know this, I grew up in a very conservative, at the time, very Caucasian area. I mean, I was young, I was black, and I was very flamboyant, which was very different for the people in my around town, in my school. I mean, there were days, many, many days. It felt like there was a bullseye on my back that said, make fun of this kid. Or a stamp on my forehead that just said, get him. That's how it felt. There was no days off for me. Every day at school, I would come home and I remember at first it wasn't a big deal. It was just, and as time went on, they were resilient. I didn't want to go back to school. I remember not wanting to go back to school. And I remember my mother, God love her, she's wonderful, wonderful mom. But I remember being bullied to the point of just not wanting to go back to school and not even wanting to be left on this earth. Just what was the point of going to school and having people call you every name in the book? There were times I have been spit on. I have been spit at. I have had people throw rocks at me. I have been tied to a chair and left in the middle of the road. I have been tied up and left in a field. I have been dragged through a field. I have been hit. I have been kicked. There were times where I didn't even know what I could have done. I remember wearing bigger clothing because I was afraid that people would make fun of me because of my body shape, which they did do. From the way I walked, again, to my body type, to the way I talked. And you gotta talk. You gotta get up in school in front of people and do, them projects where they practically just judge you for talking. People never realize how they will affect you in your life. So this part of the forgiveness was difficult for me because some of them do not know, even to this day, that as an adult, they have altered the way I trust people and altered the way that a young man looked at the world. crazy how people can do that to another human being. So what I did was I sat down every day this week and I wrote a letter to each and every single person who has affected my life in a negative way. And that was awful because you had to relive, had to relive those days, those moments, those events that I thought I was past. I thought I was over them because they happened years ago, but I was not. I was not. When I wrote those letters to the group of boys who left me in a field, to the girls that threw rocks at me, all because I was different, to the boy who spit on me, to the group of boys who tried to spit on me or who would chase me after school. I just wanted to go to the country store, walk up there and get some jam. I was minding my own business, to relive those moments were hard. And I know this is going to be a little difficult for some people because in school, I was always happy. I always smiled. I was always a happy kid because, I was always taught that, if you smiled, everything would just be better. So I did. I smiled. There was safety in going to church. There was safety in going to my friend's house. There was safety in coming home, and there was safety in my neighborhood. But there's a whole world out there that was not very safe for me. And to venture out there sometimes was just very dangerous. But I continued to do so, by the way. They did not stop me. They hurt me, but they did not stop me. But anyway, where was I going with that? Sorry. I wrote a letter to each and every single one of them. And I realized that there was no possible way that I could deliver these to each and every single one of them because there were a lot of letters. I wish I could show you. I should have taken a picture of it, but I didn't. The letters that I wrote during this course of the week. I mean, it was in my car. I wrote when I was out walking and I needed to just get that off my mind. And I would have everywhere I have a notepad, but I wrote a lot in anywhere of my life, at work, on the road. If it was a letter to be written, I wrote it. So, but there's no possible way that I could give them all out. There were a lot. And some of them I could not find, actually. And I did look them up on Facebook. Some of them are my friends on Facebook. I see you. I forgive you, by the way. Some of them I could not find due to them getting married and having their last name changed. And due to some of them not having social media at all. And some of them have passed on. They have died. So there was no possible way to hand them all out. So what I chose to do was I chose to burn them. I chose to get rid of all of that negative energy. So writing these letters on this piece of paper, and I put a fake address on them. I'm not gonna lie, I think I sent it to 666 hell. And then I burned it because that's exactly where I want that feeling to go. Those feelings to go. I don't want to hold on to that any longer. And so I can tell you that writing those letters, because I write journals, and so writing those letters for me was really, really, really powerful. And it did change the way that I thought about each and every single one of the people who have hurt me. And I can say hurt people. And I don't know why they did what they did, but I can say that's no longer going to affect me in my life and the way that I look at people any longer. You know what I mean? This journey so far has proven to be wonderful. The act of forgiveness is not for the other person. It is for myself. It is for me. It is a gift for me. And a couple of days ago, I had ran into a guy who had altered my life in more ways than one. And I had already written and burned the letter that I was going. It's funny, you know how the universe works. But I forgave him. But anyway, when we were talking, I didn't hate him. I didn't think in 1,000 years that I would ever talk to this person again. Hell, I'm not even gonna lie. Listen, if that man was on fire and there was a glass of water, I would have drank the water and broke the cup. That's how I felt about him. But seeing and talking to him, I forgave him. And I am very happy to tell you that this journey, this forgiveness that I am handing out it's beautiful, guys. It really is. I want you all to take time out of your busy schedules to forgive people. I don't know what you have to do. You got to forgive and you got to move on. And that's what I'm doing. And I'm very happy, that you guys are on this beautiful journey with me. Oh, I really am. But this process of healing is not over. And I cannot wait for next week's video to see where I am in another week. So I hope you all will join me in another week to see where I'm at and who else I have forgiven. I love each and every single one of you. Remember to take care of yourself and always, always stay golden. I love you.